In this video, we're going to look at the processes of revising, editing, and proofreading. While you're watching the video, make sure that once in a while you pause and take notes. And also use the time-stamped outline in the description of the video to navigate around. And remember that you need to watch at least some parts in order to review and reinforce what you've learned. The first step after drafting is revising, which is when you deal with the content and organization of information and ideas. And then after revising, you have the last step of the writing process when you edit and proofread. And this is when you work on form and style. Now, remember that a piece of writing takes shape through these two steps, so it is really, really important to take these two seriously. Now, let's compare these two steps. When you're revising, you're working with ideas and information. You look at the content, the information and ideas that you have, and you fix the content. You fix the organization, how ideas and information are organized. You may delete or add ideas. You may rearrange information. Sometimes you see you need more research, so you do more research. And also you polish the expression of ideas and you work on your clarity. On the other hand, when you're editing and proofreading, you work on your spelling and grammar, you work on punctuation and capitalization, you improve the vocabulary and your style, and also you check formatting and referencing. Now, let's look at them a little bit in more detail. In the revising process, the first thing you look at is number. You ask yourself, okay, do I have all the units necessary? And you do it starting from the larger units like paragraphs, and then you move on little by little to smaller units. So first, do I have all the paragraphs that I need in my essay? Then inside each paragraph, do I have all the components in the paragraph? And then inside each component, do I have all the elements? So I check I have all the elements, all the components, all the units that I need. The second question is order. Are the units organized in the right order? For example, you look at your introduction and you see, okay, do I have my hook at the beginning? Then do I have my background information? Is the thesis statement the last unit? So on and so forth. You remember also the size of each unit is important. So this is something that you need to look at and revise and fix if you need to. Firstly, is the unit within the word limit? Is my introduction within the word limit? And even the components. Again, I'm going to use the introduction as an example here. You look at the introduction. Your hook is supposed to be one short, effective sentence. Your thesis statement at the end is supposed to be one short, effective sentence. And then between the two, you're supposed to have a number of sentences for your background. Your hook is not supposed to be a long sentence or a few sentences. Your thesis statement is not supposed to be very long, or you cannot have 4 sentences as your thesis statements. Then you look at the quality of the information, the quality of the ideas. You ask yourself, are the ideas and information relevant to what I'm saying? Are they appropriate for my main idea? You also look at your referencing. You remember that in academic writing, we use citations, we use ideas, information from other sources. Are they used in an appropriate way? Are they really supporting your ideas? That's a question you need to ask yourself. You need to look at the connection and transition. All the units should be logically connected to whatever comes before them and comes after them. And also, we should be able to transition very smoothly from one idea to another, from one unit to another. And finally, you look at the clarity of the language. You have all these ideas now. You have all the ideas that you need. You have them in the right order and right size. The quality of the information is really good. You are sure about connecting all of them, but are you expressing yourself clearly and briefly? That is really important. So here you're working a little bit on language, but you are looking at the expression, whether what you're saying is clear and understandable. Now, remember, you need to repeat this process. You move from larger units to smaller units, right? For example, first you consider the paragraphs. You look at the number, order, size, quality of the paragraphs, connection and transition of paragraphs. Then you go inside each paragraph and you do the same thing. You look at the components inside a paragraph. Do I have the right number? Are they in the right order and size? Do you have the right quality? Do you have connection and transition? So on and so forth, until you have checked all the units, all the elements from the largest to the smallest. The last step is editing and proofreading. Here you look at your grammar, sentence structure, connection. Then you look at the spelling. Is your spelling correct and consistent? How about the punctuation? How about the capitalization? You look at the vocabulary. Are you using the right words? Are you using the right collocations? Are the words and collocations and phrases that you're using appropriate for your main idea? Have you avoided redundancy, which is repeating something again and again, or wordiness, which means using a lot of words to say something that you can say perhaps in one word? You have to check the style. You remember that in academic writing, the style should be formal and impersonal. Do you have any personal language? You need to fix it. Is the style formal? Are you avoiding anything that makes your style informal? Is your style appropriate for your topic, for your field of study? Then you look at the formatting. Is the document formatting following the guidelines? You may be using APA or MLA or whatever it is. You have a number of guidelines how to format your document. And also you will look at the mechanics of your references, your citations. Do you have the right punctuation? For example, in certain places you need a comma, you need a full stop. Sometimes you need capitalization. Sometimes you need the italic fonts. Is everything correct? Are the citations correctly attributed? You go through this process as many times as possible until you make sure that there is no problem whatsoever. In this video, we've looked at the final important steps in the academic writing process. That is editing, revising, proofreading. Make sure that you watch everything again if you need to. And of course, put your ideas into practice. Remember, it is only by writing that you learn how to write. Also, make sure that you come back and watch the academic essay template videos that we have. There are videos about argumentation, problem solution, cause effect, comparison contrast, and other kinds of academic writing templates.